And then managing people is the second part, which is the most important part. And most of us, we even are successful at this, but we are not successful at this part. Before I talk about managing people, I'll talk about managing time. I think this is something that most of them who have come here to give speeches or guest lectures, they have told you manage time, manage time, manage time. But you know, this concept of managing time is not at all existent. There's no concept at all called managing time. Everybody has 24 hours. What will you manage in 24 hours? Can you make it 36 hours? Can you make it 12 hours? Or can you make it 8 hours? Nobody can manage time. All you can do is manage people and manage tasks that you do in the 24 hours. Manage people and manage tasks that you do in that 24 hours. Everybody cannot, do everything in the 24 hours that they have. Add a new page. Okay, thank you. So everybody doesn't have, everybody has the same time. So now how do you think you will spend this 24 hours? In our life, we have two categories. Those two categories is one who wants our time and one who needs our time. First of all, before we talk about wants and needs, who are the people in life? Who are the people in life? Who are the people in your life? Parents, friends, and maybe you have teachers or somebody. If you are doing a job, you will have your boss, your manager, etc., etc., etc. Primary people are there. So who are those who need your time and who are those who want your time? These people need your time at any cost. You have to spend time with them, with your parents and with your friends. And these people want your time. If it's teachers, then teachers, or if it's managers, it's managers, because they want you to do that job for them, right? Managers want their employees to get the job done for them. So they want your time. So you should always prioritize on what you should do. And since you're studying, I'll tell you how to categorize things. So I think you all have this checkerboard, and it is yes and no, yes and no. And here you have important, and here you have urgent. Now, you might have this question in mind, like, what should I do? And I always say, life is not just only about studies. It's all about entertainment. It's how you enjoy life. You'll work will not give you productivity. Work fun will give you productivity. And that's how you should enjoy life, right? So you should understand how you have to categorize things. Let's imagine there are certain tasks that you do in life. One can be studying, one can be games, one can be talking to your friends, talking to your family, or you wanted to watch a good movie, because I am a good movie buff. Like, if anybody is a fan of movies, then yeah, here I am. So I watch a lot of movies. So it's that you should understand. So it's, for example, it's urgent and it's important. So it is yes, it is no, yes, it is yes and no, it is no and no. So if a task or if something is urgent to you and important to you, do it at the first place. Studying is urgent, studying is important, because you have to write your exams, you have to build your career, so do it in the first place. It is yes and no. That means it is urgent, but it is not important. For example, talking to your parents is urgent. There's an emergency, somebody is not feeling good at home. It's not so important that you should focus, but it's urgent, you have to do it, or you have to finish your assignment. It's not important, but it's good for your academics, because I think you're doing your degree along with your UPSC. So you cannot say, I'm just focusing on UPSC, do damn with my studies, I don't want to finish my degree. You can say that, right? So you have to finish your education. So this is urgent, but it's not important. What's important is your UPSC. So do that at the second place. Next is, it is not urgent, but it's important, like your movies, like your games, because entertainment is important in life, but it's not urgent. You don't have to do it right now, just now, within a snap of a finger, but it's important to do those activities. And this is the last category, which is not important, not urgent, but you know what? We do this only. It is not important, it is not at all urgent, but we do that. We focus on that. And we think all our life, why am I not becoming successful? Why are my tasks not getting done? Why am I not, getting to that point in life? So it's always we should always understand like how we should get there. And it's quite common because at your age, I know your age is such that it can either construct you or it can either destroy you. It's who you should take the decision. Because when I was at your age, I think I was in, I chose BPC, so I was in Gosala campus, I was in a hostel. So all of you are residential or anybody coming, are you a day scholar? Is anyone a day scholar here? Or very few of them, most of you are residential, right? And I think it's good that you're in a residential campus because you get to know the value of parents when you stay in a residential campus. I think you've had a lot of freedom when you're at home, but here you have to do things all by yourself. When you fight with your friend, all you remember is like, my parents are much better than this friend. They would have at least spoken to me. They would have sit beside me and done things for me. So it's important that you stay in a residential campus, you understand the environment, you understand friends, you understand how to be independent as an individual. So that's how you build things in life. So understand what is important for you, what is urgent for you, categorize things that you have to do, and based on this categorization, do that in 24 hours. And when you do this thing in 24 hours, will you waste your time? Will you manage your time? You will not manage your time. You'll just do things on time. You'll do things on time. So next time if somebody tells you manage time, tell them it's not there. It's not there. Everybody has just 24 hours. So we do not manage time. We just make sure we manage ourselves. We manage people in our lives that are with us, who are there with us, who are making sure that we're always there. So this is what I would always want to say. Next thing I would want to focus on in this managing people is inculcate the habit of saying no. Inculcate the habit of saying no. Most of us at this age, we think that when our friends ask us to come out for a movie or just go or hang out or fun, and if you say, sorry, I don't want to come, it's like, oh, she wants to become a topper or she is like 24/7 studying and all of that. I know what happens inside a residential campus. I've been there. So this is what we always, get to listen. But always make sure that you say it in a gentle and a polite way. If someone asks you, hey, we are going for a movie, are you okay coming there? So just don't say right away on their face, no, I don't want to come for a movie because I want to study. They also want to study, but just for chilling out, they want to go for a movie. So you just ask them if it's okay to say no. Hey, I think I have a work. Is it okay if I say no? Will anybody say anything on your back if you say it or talk it in a way that's very polite? Just ask them if it's okay to say no. So make sure to stand for yourself. So at the end of the day, there are two things. You have to stand for yourself and make sure you say no to your friends, or you feel guilty about you said no to your friends. Are your friends going to travel your entire life with you? If you're going to be the civil servant or if you crack the IAS rank, are they going to put your name along with your friend's name? Obviously no. So take stand for yourself, and it's very important that you stand for yourself, and it's not at all selfish. There's a thin line between standing for yourself and being selfish. Stand for yourself. Without standing for yourself, you cannot stand for somebody else. So there's a thin line. And don't feel, it feels so alien if I prefer myself over others. Hey, you have to love yourself even before you love anybody, right? So make sure this time is not the time you dedicate for somebody else. This 2 years or this 3-4 years that you spend here is crucial. So make sure that you spend this time for yourself. Be selfish, because everybody is selfish. Everybody is selfish. Who is not selfish? Tell me. You have to be selfish about your career. You have to be selfish about your life. You have to be selfish about what you do in life and what you want to become in life. So always never feel bad or never feel guilty for saying no. Never feel guilty for saying no. And there's one thing that I always wanted to address. How many of you are here because you wanted to become an IAS officer, and how many of you are here just because your parents wanted to be here and just because your parents wanted to be see you as an IAS officer? You can be genuine, because that's not wrong. How many of you are genuinely here because you wanted to be an IAS officer? Genuinely. Great. Okay, this is a big number. How many of you are here because your parents wanted you to be here? It's not at all wrong. It's not at all wrong. Great. I appreciate you all. A big round for you. I appreciate that you accepted the fact that you're here for your parents. And to do such a great sacrifice of sacrificing your own things is good. but I think you would have worked much better. So the second point I would like to say in managing people is convince your parents. You know, most of us, the major mistake that we do is we underestimate our parents. We underestimate our parents. We think if I talk to my father about this, or if I talk to my mother about this, they will not agree with my decision. They will say absolutely, they'll say no, this is not happening. But did you ever think why they are saying no to your decision? Because our parents, they have seen two extreme conditions in life, two extreme situations in life. They have seen successful people becoming engineers, doctors, and settling in life. They have also seen unsuccessful people. Maybe they've seen their friends who wanted to do journalism, or they wanted to become an actor. They wanted to settle in some unstable job, and they're not successful in life. Your parents, they don't want to hurt you just because they want you to become this. They are just worried about your unstable life in future. What if my daughter has an unstable life after choosing this? But I don't say compromise on whatever they are thinking, because you might have a goal in life, you might have different things in life, you want to achieve different things in life. You do not have to compromise on that. Sit with your parents, talk to them. And you know what? Parents have the most gentle hearts. They have the most gentle hearts. If you ever realize, like, they wouldn't, I think the most selfless beings in your life who have sacrificed a lot, who think about you a lot 24/7, it's only your, parents. And after, when I was in my college, I used to think that friends are, much, effective, and they used to care a lot and all of that. But once I started living in a residential campus, I understood the value of family, I understood the value of parents, and I understood the resources that they give for us. And I think most of you come from a middle class or lower middle class background. I think it's just like me. I also come from such a family. And we are not here just because our parents are rich and they are like, Sharat Chandra IAS Academy, like, it's okay, my bank account is full, so I just wanted to donate and send my child to study here for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. No, right? It's their hard-earned money. It's literally their blood and sweat. So sit with them, spend time with them, tell them why you wanted to do something else and not this. And that's where your convincing skills are. They gave birth to you. They know how you are. They know who you are. Initially, when I wanted to choose BIPC, like, all my family members, they were like, no, it would be better if you take MPC, and it would be much better because with the skills you have, you'll easily crack a job. You'll be doing a coding job, and you'll enjoy it eventually. But then I sat with my parents. We had a lot of discussion. I told them, no, it's okay, even if I don't get the job, but that's not what I'll do and what I'll enjoy. How many of you have watched this movie called Three Idiots or Snehituru in Telugu? You have seen Jeeva's role, right? He wanted to become a wildlife photographer, but his father didn't wanted him. He joined him in an engineering college. But at the end of the day, it took him like 4 years or 3 years, or no matter what's the time, did his father get convinced? It's a movie, madam. Anybody will get convinced in the movie. That's a sentimental scene. It's not movie. I think it happens in real life if you spend that quality time with your parents. But most of us, what we do not do is we do not try to sit with our parents. We do not try to talk with them. Talking with them is not just you ask them, I want to become this, they say no, and like, my parents do not understand anything about me, they don't like me becoming this. Sit with them. Talk to them once, twice, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. They're your parents. Ultimately, they have to, they'll agree with you. If you tell them that you want this in life and you will be successful, do any parents wish that you have to be unsuccessful in life, you have to fail in life, you have to be in a situation where you don't earn anything or something like that? All of them want you to become successful, but they wanted you to choose an easy path. They don't want you to struggle just like they struggle. That is why they wanted you all to sit in a classroom like this, have an environment like this and all of that. So what I would always like to say is that before you start convincing your parents, convince yourself that your parents are not harsh, your parents do not love you, your parents love you, they're not harsh on you, just that they're looking for that future of yours. Make sure they understand, because times have changed, your parents haven't. Because I think if you talk to anybody of 40 years or 60 years, most of us will use this word called generation gap. We say, you people of your generation do not understand us. You do not know this technology. You do not know what we are doing in life. But I would just like to say that times changed, but people haven't. Your parents haven't. They come from that old age, they come from that generation where their parents were very strict with them. Their parents didn't even give the opportunities that we have in our lives today. So they come from that situation. They don't want you to fall in that prey of those situations. That is why they, pressurize you to choose the career that, that's happy or that's simple. But if you do not like it, make sure you tell them. Because if you start telling them, they will be convinced for sure. So first thing is managing, what you want and what you need and how to say no. And second thing is convince your parents, talk to them, spend time with them. Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't realize now, but after you become a parent or you become a mother or you come to a life where you've achieved all of these things, or when you live alone. Especially when I was in the US or when I lived in the hostel. At home, we never understand the value of parents. They do everything for us. They get everything for us. So if we cry, we don't even cry at home because they get everything for us. But in hostel, we face a lot of situations. We have friends, we fight with them. We have situations, at times we fail in exams. We do not know, we do not share everything. But did you ever realize that parents are the only selfless beings that are always there? Even if you are zero, they would be still there with you. Even if you are a hero, they will be there with you. But your friends will be there only if you're heroes. Unless and until if it's a genuine friend and then so much Rakta Sambandham and all of that you think is, I'm not saying that friendship is bad. Friendship is good. But getting a good friend is rare. Getting a good friend is rare. And the third topic that I wanted to talk here is how to make friends. How to make friends. Because I think all of us have forgotten this concept of making friends. And we all think, how many of you agree with the fact that if I say the closest friends of yours are school friends? Is it the same? You know why the closest friends of yours are your school friends? Because when you made school friends, that was the age when you didn't know what is selfishness, you didn't know what is friends with benefits, you didn't know what's good, or you didn't select friends. It just happened. It's an organic relation that was built with your friends. You just sit together, or you like each other, or you played together a sport and you became friends. And till date, I think they're your best friends. But after you come to intermediate or degree, you start choosing friends. You think maybe she's good in a subject, maybe it's good if I start sitting with her, talking to her, and she'll explain me, or maybe she has this, or maybe we expect things from friendships. And I would always say, do not expect anything from relationships. Relationship is not a give and take away, thing. It can be any relation. And you're all of that age. I can even talk about relations of, the opposite gender or opposite sex. So do not expect anything out of a relationship. Because relationship doesn't come with expectations. It happens organically. It happens naturally. You become friends. You do not expect anything. So she's my friend. I wanted this from her. And the day she doesn't give that, I'm just breaking up. Friendship breakup is what happens. That's not how friends work. So I would always say, just make friends without expectations. Do not make friends because there is something that you will get in benefit, something that you will get in return from them. And I would always say, I was always a front bencher till I think intermediate or something. And from then I always used to sit at that last 2-3 benches, and I used to just enjoy, crack jokes and laugh, because the most intelligent, creative and the funniest people are at the last. I am sure, I know, I have been there. And I have made all those jokes that you do today, and it's nothing wrong in doing it, because you cannot do it when you're 60 years old. You do it at this age. But there's a limit to everything. There's a line to everything. Once you know that line, you should never cross that line. That's what you should understand in life. So make friends, build conversations, grow network. Network is, I think, something which is very important. Today, I think I have international friends from almost 40 to 50 countries. Not because I traveled to all 40 to 50 countries and then made friends and know them. Because once I got into college, I started connecting with different people online on Discord. It's not that you go hang out with them, spend money, sit in a cafe, talk, and then, have food. And this is not friendship. Talk to them about life. And when you talk to people who are not like you, you get to have a different perspective. If you talk to your friend who's sitting next to you, she would also have the same mindset because she's from the same place, she's from the same environment. She will have the same mindset as of you. But you should know what's happening in the world outside. And being a civil aspirant, IAS aspirant, you should definitely know what's happening out there in the world. And to get that worldwide perspective, you should talk to people. Reading books will give you knowledge for sure, but when you talk to people, it's the experiences that they have, they'll share with you. So talk to people, connect with as many people as you can. Not now, of course, because you're in a crucial phase, but once you settle in something, start building networks, start building relationships, because that would eventually help you one day. So when the Russia-Ukraine war was happening, that happened, right? It's still not submissive. So I had friends from Ukraine, I had friends from Russia. I connected them when I was in the US in my university. They were studying with me. So they told me what's happening inside, because what the media projects is not the same as what is happening inside the country, especially in Russia. Because Putin has made a statement that everything that is announced by the government is what is put into media, but people in Russia doesn't even know that there's a war happening outside there. So it was a very threatening situation. I spoke to my friends, they were very worried. They didn't want the war to happen. But outside it was projected that Russia wants to declare a war on Ukraine. So it's very important that we understand situations, and we understand it only when we talk, and we talk only when we build relationships, and when we build relationships, it's going to be that fruitful network that we have in life. So I would always say, build network, and that is of course managing people.